So the for the session. Okay. All right. Good morning, co-banker George. I hope you had a nice weekend. Well, I had a quiet one. Didn't do too much. But and there's some things that I want to share with you. Well, one thing is about the economy is the we're going to have another federal meeting this week on Wednesday, on the 19th. I think they're going to hike interest rate by another 25 percentage point. Don't quote me, but I think that's what they're going to do. But once they do that, we're going to have a higher interest rate again. So it's never ending, right? But well, it's to be expected already, so we can cope with that. Another thing is that I noticed that a lot of people are getting under the weather now. So as you know, we are entering the flu season. So I remind everybody to have their flu shot. And my daughter, who's a medical doctor in Kaiser, told me that they have a surge of the flu cases in the hospital. So it's important that you take your flu shot. And also the COVID shots are coming out October. So get it ready. That's going to be the fifth one. And if you want to get more protection, you should get the shot also. Okay. Now with that, I today we have the honor to have Sandy Franco from First American Home Warranty to give us a presentation on he's going to give us some tip on using the personal marketing materials for you to market your property when listing and selling your property. So it's going to be a very insightful seminar. We're looking forward to that. But before we let Frankie Sandy speak, I have some housekeeping things I have to announce. Let me see my list. Okay. All right. First of all, I would like to announce the birthday for people who has birthday this week. There are three people there's Justin Cho, Thomas Wong, and Kevin Lee. Congratulations on your birthday. Happy birthday. And I just want to remind you that we have a class this week, Wednesday the 13th. We'll continue with the CRE WIN class. That is number 3. Okay, your link is the original links that Josh Best gave you at the beginning of the session, and it will be good for this time's link. He's not going to give another link for you, and in case you lost his original link, please let me know or let Michelle know. We'll furnish you with another one, okay? And then the Friday, we have the affiliate sponsored training by Judy Chow. And she's going to talk about pre-approved process for the loan and the steps for buyers to prepare to buy a home. Also talk about the Fannie and Freddie submission, the process with the buyer's offer, and also the EC qualify and government loan. So it may be a pretty informative session for training this Friday. Okay, and a couple of reminders is that we still, on Wednesday, we still have the Arcadia Caravan, and on Thursdays, we have the Pasadena Caravan. Those are very good sessions where you can go and mingle with the with the brokers and also see some of the new listings that interesting listings that they have. I would certainly encourage you to go and join them. You know, if you want to join the Pasadena one, Ruben goes to that one himself, so you can team up with him and maybe go with him together. Okay, so well, final reminder is that hey, you know, this is September already, and we only have a couple of months to go for the year. So wrap it up and get some more business. So okay, all right. With that, I would like to introduce Sandy for her presentation today. Sandy, take it away, please.
I'm ready. Okay, let's see here. I need to share my screen.
Okay, your co-host.
Okay. There we go. All right. Okay, so what I'm going to start off by talking about is everything that you're going to do for the next 3 months until the end of the year is going to position you for how well we do 2024. Okay, they call it farming because you're planting your seeds and so that they'll grow and you have a farm to work from. The very first thing you need to do for your farm is you guys need to sit down with your title rep. Angie's in the office. You know, if you need her, just call, text, or email her. Set up a farm. Make sure your farm is not so overwhelming that it's too daunting, because then you won't do it. But make it a challenge. Give her your parameters. Let her help you set up a farm. And then as you go out and walk into your farm, I have mass farming materials. I have door hangers. I have the little baggies with the little inserts. Fabulous. I can get you those in groups of 250, no problem. But what I want to talk about today is the personalized marketing materials that First American offers at no charge to the agents. I know back a couple weeks ago, Ruben sent out a Word document to all the agents on how to set up your online account. If he didn't, we can do that again. If you don't have it, if you didn't keep it. But what we do have, once you set up your account and you log in to the website that I'm showing you, is how you'll figure out how to order the flyers. Okay, so all of the flyers on our marketing center are free. You are able to put your picture and your logo on them, and we will ship them to you for free. Okay, so I want to show you what the different ones are and how easy it is to personalize them. I will tell you though, once you set up your online account, you need to know where your photo is, your headshot, and where your Coldwell Banker logo is. Okay, because you're going to need to put those onto your flyers, and that's something I can't help you do. I don't know where some of this stuff is. And if this seems a little overwhelming over on the phone, fantastic. Reach out to me and I'll come to the office and we can do a one-on-one or a one-on-a-couple, and we can get this done and get you guys all set up. But once you log in to the marketing center, you'll see that we have a couple different areas or buckets that we call them that have flyers for you guys to choose from. We have newsletters, 4 newsletters a year: winter, spring, summer, and fall. Fall's coming up. And their Home Care Buzz is the brand of the newsletter. So it's not home warranty centric or based. This is for home owners, people who live in houses, you know, how to do it yourself projects, you know, cleaning gutters, things like that. It's just home care tips, right? So it's useful for people. And you would be able to put your picture and your logo on the bottom. It's 2-sided. The back side has a little blurb about home warranty in the little red box in the back. That's the only part of it that says anything about home warranty, other than my logo is on the bottom right corner, both sides. That's static. That can't be changed. Only parts you can change are the picture and the logo for your company. And it is super easy to do. You figure out you want the fall newsletter, you click on it, and then this page pops up and you click on the word customize. And once you do that, and it's the same box that pops up for every single flyer. So every single flyer that you want to order, you do it the exact same way. You click on the flyer, it comes up, and then you click on the word customize. And the only downside is you can't save your information. You're going to have to enter it every single time. So you enter your name, your title, the brokerage. If you want more than one phone number, you can put those in, your email address, and your license number. And this is key. You have to have your license number on all printed material or on all advertisements. So this is what you would put in. Now, I will tell you, we are not proofreading your stuff. If you have a typo in your name or your phone number or your license number, we are not going to know it. So be careful. So you're going to enter all of this stuff, and then you go down and you click upload, and wherever you put your picture on your computer, you click upload, you attach your photo, same thing, upload, attach your logo. And then when you do all that, I'll do it really quick here. I'll find it. Title. Right? When you enter everything you want to enter, then you have to click at the top where it says view proof. That's your way of verifying to us that you've proofread what you've typed in. Because once you do this, that's what we're going to put on the flyer. And see here at the bottom where it used to have that generic picture, it put my information that I typed. Okay. And if I had a picture, it would put that there. I don't know if I have a picture on my computer of me. We can look and see. Yeah, I don't know if I have one. So, super easy to do though. You just put in pictures. Yeah, these are old pictures. So we're not going to do that. So super easy to do, and all of the flyers are done the exact same way. Once you click it and you've proofread this, your name is spelled right, your phone number is right, then you click approve and add to cart. It's kind of like shopping on Amazon, right? So you add that to your cart. And up here it says added to cart, takes you back to the home page. Okay. And then we have postcards is our next bucket. Just listed, just sold. Now, these are cool. These are actual postcards. Real, put them in the mail postcards. Okay. The only limits that we have is you only get to order 25 of each item every month. So this is not for mass farming. The door hangers that I give you for free, the bags that I give you for free, the flyers that Brandon from NHD can give you are free. And we give you those in mass, hundreds of those at a time. These just listed, just sold postcards and anything that you can personalize on this site, you're maxed out at 25 a month. So these are for warm leads that you get from your mass market, okay? From the door hanger.
Sandy, just want to make clear. You said 25 listings, right?
No, 25 of each piece. So we limit you on the number of flyers you can get,
right? Because
they're free. So you can't get 200 of any one flyer. You can only get 25 of each.
But can you print it out in your own printer?
Absolutely.
Okay.
100%. Save it as a JPEG. Use it however you like. We will send you 25 on high quality paper, or the postcards are actually on postcards. These are actually on postcards, right? So the just listed and just sold postcards are really cool. Just listed, obviously, if you get a listing, right? The things you can change on here, you click on the item that you want, and it says customize. You click on that again. Same thing, you're going to have to enter your name and all that fun stuff. But on the postcards, you can, your picture, your logo, picture of the house also. Okay. And that's cool also. And you can put the address in. It says, property address, you put that in as well. So these are the postcards. Now, for the just sold postcards, what I suggest people do on just listed, you want to put the address because it literally is the address of your listing, right? But on just sold, you could put part of the address in the field where it says the address, and maybe you could put 25,000 over asking, or wherever you sold it for if it was a really good price, because the city, state, and zip really don't matter on a just sold because you've sold it. You're not getting people to come to the house. You're trying to promote your services. So that's something to think about there. Again, the only areas on these things that you can change are the ones where you fill in the data. Everything else is static and can't be changed. Okay. You can't change the layout. You can't put 13 photos on here. You get what you get. Okay. And same thing, enter your data, you view proof when you're done entering it, and then you approve the proof and add it to your cart. That's with every single flyer set up the same way. Now, so we have postcards, we have newsletters, we have some things in here that are not customizable, but you still might want, right? This is a seasonal like home maintenance checklist. You don't get to put your name or logo on it, but maybe you want 25 of these. So if you're out driving around and you know, staple your business card to it and hand it to someone, whatever you want to do, they're free.
Mm.
So things like this, you just put the quantity at 25 and click add to cart and it's there. Okay. So there are probably a half a dozen flyers that you cannot customize, but there are many that you can, probably 10 or so that you can. We have a home maintenance guide that's super cool when you've closed a transaction, and you give your clients a little welcome kit or a closing packet. I know you guys have folders. You can get this with your picture, your logo, and put it in your buyer's packet. It's just a little maintenance guide for new homeowners because they really, quite frankly, don't know what they're doing. And this is a great guide. Comes on glossy paper. It's probably 15 pages of how to maintain their home because they really don't know what they're doing. And it's a win-win for me because if they do this, maybe they won't place claims. So that's a win-win for me. So that's another thing you can order. And then we also have some, just some flyers. We have checklists, we have flyers, just things that get your name out there. And here's another thing I'm going to suggest on some of these flyers, where you can put your logo and your name. You're only getting 25 of them. Go to Michael's or some kind of store like that and get the clear flyer stands that hold one flyer and talk to the dry cleaners in your farm area, the Jiffy Lubes, the places where people go and sit and they wait, and see if you can't put that up in their waiting room. It's got your picture on it. It's got your name on it. Look, if you're getting your oil changed in a Jiffy Lube, you are completely bored out of your mind in their lobby, right? Maybe your flyer sits there on a stand. I know they're in my Jiffy Lube. I know they're in my dry cleaner. This is something to think about. And the flyers are free, right? So here's my suggestion to the agents. Obviously set up your online account. And you'll know you've done it correctly because when you log in, you see my face. I'm your area representative because y'all belong to me. When you log in, you'll see all the home warranty orders for your clients, which is good in case you ever want to look at something. But then you go to the marketing center. Every single month, set aside 15 minutes and order 25 of every single thing you want. They're free. We will ship them to your house or to your office. It usually takes between 5 and 8 days total from the time you order it until it arrives on the doorstep. High quality paper, and it's personalized for you. And so it's our way, it's trying to help you guys build up as much business as you can. We can't offset, printing charges because that's a violation of RESPA. Agents, we're not allowed to pay for agents' marketing stuff. And that's why every single piece on here has a little bit of a promo about home warranty and has my logo. It's because that way, if we co-brand it, we're not violating RESPA. Okay. And our legal department has determined that 25 is the number that they think is appropriate for the numbers of flyers. We also have, there's just a bunch of generic flyers on here. Order 25 of all of them. Just stockpile them every single month. We also have gift certificates and certificates. There's 2 different certificates. Be very careful on which one you click on. One of them says, this home warranty, this house is covered by a home warranty. Fabulous. Doesn't say who paid for it. You put your stuff on here, and these come on hard stock paper also. When you have a closing, you write the contract number in neatly, put that in with the little closing packet, and that way your clients will always know where their info is for their home warranty, and it's your face reminding them. There's also one on here that says, this home warranty is a gift to you. This warranty is purchased as a gift by you, the agent. So unless you're buying this for your clients, don't do this one. If you're buying it for your clients, then do the one where you say you're gifting them the home warranty. Also not a bad idea. If it's not part of the transaction and you're going to pay for it, this is a little reminder of what you did for them. Okay. So we have just a certificate saying you have one, and then we have a gift certificate saying, hey, by the way, I gifted this to you. I'm your agent. I brought you this of value. Okay. So That's another thing that we have. And then the home warranty one, the last one is just a bunch of, well, it looks like it's the same. They put flyers and all the different ones, but it tells them what the home warranty covers, things like that. It's just another platform for you to have a talking opportunity to talk to them about their home, right? And should they want to list their house, or if they're looking to buy a house, just another way for you to have a avenue for a conversation. And this stuff is all free. So the things you need to do: set up your online account. Okay. Know where your picture is, know where your logo is. Talk to Angie, get your farm set up.
Sandy,
Yeah.
Sandy, Jeffrey, I have a question.
Yep.
Yeah. So for each of these, the First American certificate, newsletter, just listed, post mail. These are 25 each, right, per month.
25 each.
So we could stack this each month, 25 each, right? Okay.
Yep. That's
Thank
what I
you.
suggest.
And
Go
then-
in every month and reorder.
And then more than that, we should pay, right?
No, we don't charge. See, we are going to limit you to 25 because we don't want to be in the business of charging you for whatever the overage is. We're going to limit you to 25. If you want more than that, take the JPEG that you can save it as and take it to your printer, your Kinko's, and get them printed on your own. We are not going to be part of that. We're
Great.
not going to
Great.
be, right? We're staying out of that business. But do get 25 of everything.
Yes.
You know,
That-
five
that-
things to consider every single month, get 25.
Yeah, that's a good idea because I'm doing a lot of my my door knocking campaign. I have another question on the logo. What do you mean logo?
The Coldwell Banker logo.
My
The Coldwell
website.
Banker logo, so
I
you
have
can
my
brand the
website.
flyer.
I have my website logo. Is that the one? The
Yes.
logo?
Yep.
Okay.
And then your
Okay, good.
picture, your headshot, right?
Correct.
The one that you
Correct.
use for your business card.
Correct.
And that's the very best thing. It's the fastest, easiest way to get printed marketing materials. I mean, not hundreds, but you guys can get these things super fast. And if you're tech savvy, and I'm not really, there are people who are, you can embed these in the body of emails also, these flyers, so they don't come over as attachments. And if you want to email some of your clients as well with the flyer, so you
Great,
can
thank
embed
you.
them in the body. So these are things you could do with all the flyers. So get your farm set up, get the mass marketing, the mass farming stuff for me. I have door hangers, thousands of them in my garage every month, right? I have the baggies, I have the inserts. That's you're going to start mass farming. That's for everybody. When you blanket your area, when you get a warm reception from that, that's when you're going to hit them with the targeted stuff. Okay, so
Sandy.
start now ordering this stuff so that when you get your warm leads, you're ready to hit the ground running. The more we do now in the last 100 days of 2023, the better 2024 will be for all of us.
Sandy, are you limited to how many listings can you print?
25 of the
No, I
postcards.
know that for one listing, you have to 25 postcards.
It's one
Alto-
total. You only get
Total.
25 listing postcards. Yep.
Okay.
So if you have,
So if you
you
have
have
two
5
listing or
listings.
3 listing,
well, then you got the, well, then no one told, you didn't hear me say set up different accounts. So let's say you have 3 listings.
yeah.
You could do first listing, order, 7 of those. Second listing, you know what I mean? You could only get 25 though. They're
Per
gonna
month.
limit you
I
to
see.
the-
Okay. But
not the
do
address.
you have a choice to do that? Do you have the choice of telling them that you want 7 listing for the 7 postcard for the first listing,
Yep.
8 postcard for the second listing? You have the choice of doing that.
You can do that.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, and that's something I'd probably have to come into the office and show people how to do that so they don't get confused. The most time consuming part of all of this is you have to enter in all of your data and it won't save it the next time you log in.
Yeah.
Because there are thousands and hundreds of thousands of agents that use this platform. So
Yeah.
we don't have the bandwidth or the cloud storage to store all of your data. So the hardest part you're going to have is making sure you type your name correctly and your license number correctly.
Mhm.
Because I can't stress it enough, we're not proofreading that for you. Okay.
Sandy, Jeffrey again. Can you show us the is there a link for the login, and is there a code or just a link?
So there is I set up a instruction sheet on how to set up the account. Ruben had blasted it out. I'll shoot it over to Peter later today. And then I'm sure he can get it out to everyone in both offices. And it's a very personalized how to set up your account, probably take you 5 minutes.
Okay, very
It's
good.
super easy.
All right. Thank you so
Anyone got
much.
any questions? I really think this is a great way for you guys to jump into marketing and just, branching out a little bit and see what you like, what you don't like, what doesn't work for you. And at the price that I'm offering it of free, why not?
Yeah, all right. It's a
Right in
very,
everyone's price range.
yeah, it's a very good service, Sandy. And it's free, as you said. Hey, take advantage of it.
That's right. Take advantage of what we're offering you.
Right.
And they do update these flyers probably quarterly or so. So you'll see some different things come on and come off. So every month, log in, just like put a calendar alert. Hey, it's the middle of the month. I have to log into First American and order all my flyers again.
Okay,
Right?
very good. Very good. Any more questions for Sandy? Well, if not, let's move on. And thank you so much, Sandy.
Have a
for your
wonderful day.
coming to our meeting. Thank you very much.
I'll
Okay,
stop
then.
sharing. Hold on. Boom, right back to you.
All right, very good. Thank you, Sandy. All right, the next is we should have an update from Doug Meyer, Arcadia office. Doug, are you?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hi, everybody. How you doing?
Go ahead.
So, well, first, I want to welcome a new agent. She's here on the meeting. Her name is Jane Shea. She was here last Monday, and she was also on my Thursday meeting, which I had to close out early. But anyway,
Good.
welcome to the family, Jane. I'd like to talk about a couple of listings that we have here. Kathy Chu has got a residential lease in Arcadia for $49.80. Sharon Chow has a residential lease in Hacienda Heights for $39.85. I have a listing, a condo in Arcadia, $659, 2-bedroom, 3-bath. Michael Chan has got a commercial lease in Pico Rivera for $2,500, and Nick and Steve have a commercial lease on Duarte Road in Arcadia, $3,500. A lot of sales last couple weeks, so congratulations. Just like to mention some of the sales we've had here in Arcadia. Ming Lee had a buyer on Madison and Monrovia for $988. Michael Chan had a buyer in San Gabriel for $1,218,000. Sharon Chow had a buyer in Montebello for $925. Nick Borelli represented a tenant on a house in La Cañada, $20,000 a month for a house. How would you like those payments?
Wow.
Amazing. Anyway,
Any HOA fees?
no, just a house.
A house, okay.
Yeah.
20,000. Wow.
Sean Pan represented a tenant in Roland Heights for $3,500. Helen Lee represented a tenant in Pasadena, $2,480. Alden Lai had a listing sale in Temple City. It went way over price. He sold it for $998. And Hiroko Gomez, she had a buyer in Yorba Linda for $477. Young Chen, this is a good one here. Young Chen, a commercial property on Valley Boulevard in Alhambra, $5,975,000. And he says the escrow is going great.
Wow.
Alma had a buyer in West Covina for $792, and she had a listing sale in Fontana for $620, and she also had a listing sale in Monrovia for $726. So she's been busy. We had a pretty good week in sales here. You guys go out and get those listings. There is going to be a lot of business still through the end of the year. I was at a company many years ago where our best month was December. So don't be afraid of the holidays. Just get out there and work, and you have less competition because a lot of the agents say, oh, the holidays are coming, things will be slow. I don't think I'll work. Well, guess what? Some agents are still working, and they're the ones making the money. So get out there. Don't slow down with the upcoming holidays. Just keep plowing through it. You'll be fine. That's it, Peter. Thank you.
Good advice, Doug. Yeah, we should all try. Not the holiday season may not be a bad season to work hard too. Okay, so yeah, thank you, Doug. Appreciate it very much. As for the Alhambra office, the business is pretty good. We have 4 listings and 5 sales. So the listing we have is 549 Main Street by the Cindy Fan and Cody Wu, co-listed, and for 549,000. The second listing is 5421 Charlotte Avenue in San Gabriel, listed by Cindy Fan alone, is for $1.1 million. The third listing is 1851 Boca Avenue in El Sereno. It's leased by the, Janet Tapia for $3,000 a month. Last but not the least is the 419 Chandler Avenue in Monterey Park, listed by Nina Su for $736,000. So congratulations on all those listings. As for sales, we have 5 sales. The first one is 226 Crandall Street and in Los Angeles, listed by Eric Toe and sold by outside broker for $930,000. Second one is 419 North Chandler Avenue, Suite 606 in Monterey Park, listed by Nina Su, sold by outside agent for $736,000. And then we have 1440 West Grand Avenue in Pomona, listed by Carlos Ruiz and sold by the outside agent for $700,000. Then we have 3910 East 53rd Street, 53rd Street in Maywood, listed by outside broker and sold by Hector Somora in our company for $600,000. And the last but not the least is 1201 East Armando Drive in Long Beach, listed by Lynn Lloyd and sold by outside broker for $1.2 million. So congratulations on all these escorts. So pretty good. The business is not doing too badly recently. So I think the business is picking up. So, you know, take on the momentum. Okay. Any unlisted listing or sales that we should mention? Any agents have other listing or sales to share at this time? Anything that I missed? Okay, I guess not. Okay, then it will come to my presentation. And you know, recently I was sued by a bankruptcy trustee for $100,000 for the transaction that occurred in 2018. And the guy that I did business with filed bankruptcy 2021. So now the bankruptcy trustee is chasing after me for $100,000, saying that the deal was fraudulent, and they want to get the money back to the bankruptcy trustee. And this is really, I know I'm scratching my head. You know, this deal happens almost 4.5 years ago, and now they're chasing after the money. So, you know, I know that it's a legitimate business. It's, you know, I invested in the business deal, and this is the profits that I got, you know, from the transaction. So I'm sure that's a legitimate deal, but then I have the burden to prove that it is, you know, a legitimate deal, and I have to, you know, engage a lawyer to do that. It's just the lawyer's fee alone. I have to pony up at least $10,000 to defend my case. So, you know, this is something that I can cry wolf and say that, hey, it's not fair and everything, but that's the fact of life in America. You know, you get sued all the time, and sometimes you don't know why. And so I would like to share some of the pitfalls in the bankruptcy arena, and especially when you're dealing with you know, transactions in real estate. So I'm going to share that with you today about the effect of bankruptcy in real estate. Okay. Bankruptcy of real estate in real estate transaction. Let me. Okay. How come I cannot? Okay. Right. Okay. So let's understand what kind of bankruptcy that we have in America. There are two types of bankruptcy. First one is the personal bankruptcy. And in that you have Chapter 7 and Chapter 13. Chapter 7 is the total liquidation, meaning that you liquidate all the assets and try to pay all the unsecured creditors for all the assets that you liquidated. And the second one is the Chapter 13 is called the personal reorganization. Meaning that you go to the court and tell the judge saying that you have a particular plan that may save your business, but it takes time to sort it out and ask the court some appropriate time and you presented your case to how to repay all your unsecured creditors. Okay, so that's the reorganization. And for corporate bankruptcy, you have Chapter 7, which is the total liquidation, selling all the assets and pay for the unsecured creditors. And then you have the Chapter 11, which is very common for corporation. It's called the reorganization. Once they enter into reorganization stage, the bankruptcy trustee has a lot of powers to redo all the contracts, to get out of contract, or to force people to claw back all the monies that they think that is fraudulently transferred, like the one that I just mentioned at the beginning of my presentation. And so they have a tremendous power to get back, try to get all the assets back to the bankruptcy estate. So now, but they do have exemptions in bankruptcies. Certain assets are exempted from liquidations. Most prominent one is the homestead exemption. Now in California, you know that it used to have the homestead exemption 75,000, but beginning from January 1st, 2021. The exemption is considerably increased to 300,000, but nevertheless, the homestead exemption you'll be able to deduct the exemption for median price home of the if you live in Los Angeles County, the median price home is about $823,000, but you cannot deduct everything. I mean the whole homestead exemption because it's limited to up to 600,000. So anything that's over 600,000, you cannot deduct as a homestead exemption. But nevertheless, the minimum that you can deduct from bankruptcy is the $300,000. So that's not too bad, right? And still have a pretty sizable exemption. And then you have a cash up to $28,400. And your automobile is exempted from bankruptcy, and certain retirement accounts, like the Roth IRAs, and they're exempted from the from exemptions. And then properties that are necessary for work or earning a living are also exempt. For example, if you have a car repair shop and you need to your profession is to repair cars, and those are exempted from the bankruptcy. And if you want to get a full look of the exemptions, then you can go to the California Code of Civil Procedure, Section 704, and look at it for yourself. Okay. Now, some of the certain debts cannot be wiped out, as you know that. For example, the tax claims, some of the tax claims cannot be wiped out, or unscheduled debt. There's debts that you forgot to mention in your bankruptcy schedule. In case you forget about that, then it cannot be wiped out also. And the spousal and child support or alimony, too bad, you have to keep on paying. It's not wiped out either. And also the willful or malicious injury in the personal injury cases. Also the governmental fines and penalties, and if you get fines and from like LA City or the county or even the federal, you cannot get it wiped out. Student loans, for example, cannot be wiped out either. Hello. We get some disturbances in the back, but anyway, the student loans or benefit overpay will not be wiped out, and DUI related debts cannot wipe out. And lastly, the HOA fees, surprisingly, those cannot be wiped out either. So yeah, forever in debt with the HOA fees, even if you declare bankruptcy. So now, when you declare bankruptcy, the first major thing is that it's called what we call the automatic stays, meaning that the creditors are prohibited from any collection efforts against the debtors. Forget it. You cannot chase after the bankruptcy person for any debts that's owned anymore. You have to stop right away. Unless you petition to the court and the court granted you the motion for relief from stay. And if that's the case, then you can go ahead. For example, the bank, when they are in the process of foreclosure of your property, once it's stopped, and the bank can go to court and say, hey, court, you don't have too much assets in this property. It's under the water already. So let me continue the foreclosure. The court will usually grant that. So yeah, the second scenario, as I said, the bank can resume foreclosure if the property is totally underwater, meaning that they don't have any assets. But if they have assets, you cannot do that, because the bankruptcy trustee will undoubtedly try to sell it in an open market and get more the assets out. I mean, the equity out, and to pay for the unsecured creditors. Okay, now it used to be that the debtor can stay in his property if he keeps the mortgage current, but since 2005, this is not possible anymore. You cannot, the debtor cannot stay in his property for indefinite period of time. Now, what happened in the escrow when you have a property that in an escrow, and then the seller suddenly files for bankruptcy? Well, the RPA will become executor contract, meaning that one of the party has not fulfilled their obligation as in the contracts. So if that's the case in bankruptcy, meaning that means the bankruptcy trustee can look at the contract and say whether they want to honor it or not. Now, the bankruptcy trustee will have 60 days to look at the contract and see if they would either accept or reject the contract. Now, most of the time, since the property is already upside down and is underwater, and there's no interest in going through the contract, so most of the time they will reject it. Now, but even if they accept that, there's some rules that you have to follow in order to enforce the contract. Now, after the rejection, the contract will not be enforceable, meaning that you cannot enforce the contract. Everything is dead. Unless the buyer is already in possession. Now, if the buyer is already in possession, then you can petition for the specific performance, saying to the court, hey, I'm already settled in my property, and that is already almost done. So the court will decide whether to go ahead with that or not for specific performance. But if the buyer is not in possession of the property yet, the rejection by the trustee create a breach of contract, and so now that you can sue the the trustee of the bankruptcy trustee, and then you can file the proof of claim. But once you file the proof of claim, even if the proof of claim is accepted, then you still have to wait with other unsecured creditor. It's a long line, you know. Once people declare bankruptcy, they have a lot of unsecured creditor. Then you have to wait your turn, you know. So usually after that, not too much hope to recover what they owe you, you know, okay? So even if you file the proof of claim, it's unlikely that you can receive anything because, you know, when you file bankruptcy, that means, you know, especially in liquidation, that means you don't have much assets there. So you know, and also you have to wait a long time for the bankruptcy court to go through their proceedings and get to find out whether you deserve, how much you deserve. You know, sometimes it's 10 cents for a dollar, sometimes it's 5 cents for a dollar, you know. And anyway, it's not like a good a picture to that even if your proof of claim is accepted. Okay, now you know, what about the buyer has incurred the expenses and inspection, appraisal, and all that? Can the agent or the buyer recover those expenses? Unfortunately, you know, the buyer cannot recover that from the bankruptcy estate. Now, again, you can sue them for breach of contract and things, and go to the go for proof of claim, and if you proof of claim, you have to wait at the end of the line, you know. Now, how about if buyer can collect from the seller? The answer is definitely no, because it's violations of federal laws. Now, yeah, and also what happened if the seller filed for bankruptcy? What happened to the listing agent? The listing agreement. The listing agreement, same as the RPA, will become an executory contract, and the trustee can either accept or reject it. And the listing agent can file a proof of claim for the commission's promise in the agreement. But even as I said, even if you file proof of claim, you have to join the long lines of unsecured creditor, and the chance of recovery is pretty slim. Okay, but of course, if you are trying to help the trustee, you can file the priority claims and for the expenses that incur during the proceeding if you're helping the bankruptcy trustee. But again, it's very unlikely to recover because you are, you know, at the end of the line. Now, what happened to the money in escrow? It's a good question. So,
Peter,
the money in escrow is not a part of the bankruptcy estate. So ultimately it should be returned to the buyer. But the thing is that there's a lot of procedure requirement, and then it takes a long time. Okay, so it's very cumbersome, and you know, you just want to. Well, once this becomes, there's a lot of hurdles that you have to go through. But anyway, even if with the mutual consent of the seller and the buyer, the money cannot be released unless approved by the court. And then, as I said, it will take a long time. And also the buyer, though the buyer may also petition for relief from state, but usually it's not very likely that the bankruptcy court judge will grant it. That they say, well, it's not part of the estate. The money is not part of the estate. So you just have to wait until the procedural things has gone through completion, and the money can be released back to the buyer. But eventually it will be released to the buyer, but it just takes time.
Peter,
So,
I have a question.
and,
I have a question.
The question is, Jeffrey?
Yeah, I have a question. Can I ask a question? Quick
No.
one?
Okay, I'll wait until the end. Okay, is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Can the property be sold during the bankruptcy? The answer is yes. But you know, the bankruptcy has no assets that and you know, so then you know, and also the seller can obtain from bankruptcy court an order for abandonment of the property. Then they can proceed to short sell the property. But that's that you have to get the court's approval. You know, it's a long procedure. You know, the petition for lift of automatic stay is pretty time consuming and lengthy. So it's not an automatic thing. Even after the order is granted, the lien holder may not be willing to negotiate until the court grants the release from the state. So eventually, you still have to get the relief from the state. Now, if the property still has assets, now the trustee probably
Is this Coldwell Banker commercial brokerage?
and the trustee may proceed to sell the property on behalf of the estate in order to distribute the proceeds to unsecured creditors. So, but again, the trustee will have to get an order from court.
Okay,
David,
Get-
mute yourself,
David, can
please.
you mute yourself?
do you,
Okay. Now, and when that's the case, that the court will allow the bankruptcy trustee to employ and compensate listing and selling agents. So at that time, you know, you can go through the normal procedure of marketing the property. That's what I said. That's why I say that sometimes it's worthwhile to go to the bankruptcy lawyer and find out that whether they have some of this property like that, you know, the property that has still have assets, and they still want to sell it in open market, and that's a good way to drum up business. And you know, I have helped some of the agents do a couple of them, and it's not that hard, you know. So if you want some advice on that, let me know, and maybe I can introduce some of the bankruptcy lawyer, and then you can talk to them and see if they have any property like that. Okay. Now, what about the, you know, when you do have a lease and the landlord file for bankruptcy. So after the landlord filed for bankruptcy, it's illegal to pursue past rent once the tenant. I'm sorry. I mean, not the landlord filed bankruptcy. The tenant filed bankruptcy. Sorry. You know, when the tenant filed the bankruptcy, the landlord cannot pursue the past due rent, but they can still accept the current rent if they have been paying that all along. It's just that for the past rent, they cannot accept or sue for past rent. Now, in order to collect the past due rent, the landlord must file for motion for relief from stay. Usually it takes 3 to 4 weeks to get, but you know, even if the court grants it, so it will take a little time. The bank, most likely the court will grant that for the past due rent. But again, you know, if the tenants still want to stay, they have to pay the current rent even after the file for bankruptcy. Now, if the landlord files bankruptcy, the tenant most likely will not accept the residential lease. Therefore, the lease will be on a month-to-month basis. So that's what will happen if the landlord files for bankruptcy. And after that, if the landlord filed for bankruptcy, the trustee has the power to evict the tenant if it is to the best interest of the bankruptcy estate. So all these, if this happens in during the transaction, real estate transaction, you can inform your clients and what to do and what to expect. And you know, of course, I want you to give out legal advice, but just to point them in the right direction. And in case you want some advice or a referral for bankruptcy lawyers, come to me and I will refer you to some good ones. Okay. All right, with that, I hope that will give you some idea what you do when your client or or either the seller or the buyer file for bankruptcy. So there's any question, Jeffrey? Now it's your turn to ask my question.
Yeah, is the title company can discover
I can
bankruptcy?
hear you.
Can the title company discover bankruptcies?
I'm sorry, can you hear that? It's very faint. I cannot hear you too well.
Can the title company discover bankruptcies?
Title, any entity can file bankruptcy, yes.
So that's the one way of discovering bankruptcies, right?
The same thing, it happens to any entity, you know, once the entity file bankruptcy, the bankruptcy trustee takes over for the operation of the company.
Yeah. So just wondering how you discover bankruptcy. So you have to check with the title company, right?
You have the what?
Check with the title company to discover bankruptcy. I want to know how to discover bankruptcy.
Oh,
It's
you
true.
okay? You can go to the court proceeding. You know, you go to the bankruptcy lawyer, and they can find out who's declared bankruptcy in the court proceedings. So yeah, you can ask them. Well, you know, do you have any bankruptcy around this area? You know, involving real estate. They can tell you.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you're dealing with listing properties or you know, yeah, how would you know if there is a bankruptcy ongoing, whatever? So I just wonder if the title
With the
company
listing,
can
well, they will tell you. Of
they'll
course,
tell
they
you.
will
They
tell you.
should.
They have to
They,
tell you.
they have
It's
to
a
tell you.
material fact. They have to tell you. You know, the seller has to tell you whether they are filing for bankruptcy or not. Yeah, that's that's for sure. They have to tell you.
Okay, so most of the trustees are bank. Most of the trustees are financial, right?
No. Most of the trustee, it is the court that will assign you the trustee.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be a bank. It can be any person or any entities.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure. Any more questions?
Yes, Peter, this is
Yeah.
Steve.
Steve, yes.
On this bankruptcy, since for my judgment, could be happened based upon your presentation, probably mainly on the commercial properties. Am I right?
No, it can be. It can happen to residential.
Okay. If that's happened in residential, usually you are going to check on the title to see the NOT
Yes.
or NOT,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
And if you have a NOT or NOT, usually I will not touch the listing. Usually,
You will not.
yeah, because they are in the notice of default or maybe not the default, and you have to find out why. And the notice trustee sale, you are getting involved. It's a lot of trouble. You know, that is my opinion.
Okay. Well, yeah, but some people don't mind. You know, and because.
Yeah, it's not sometimes only personal reason I will not get involved. This kind of potential lots of households, and you're starting to consider the return of investment, and then you don't know.
That's true. Yeah, of course, you have a lot of things to think about in bankruptcy, and if you don't handle properly, as I said, sometimes after a long time pass, they can still come back and claw the money back. You know, that's the repercussion of dealing with bankruptcy properties.
Yeah, that's my personal opinion. It's not worth your time.
You have a legitimate preference. Yeah, I understand.
Unless it's a huge one, and you say, okay, it was for me to involve some experienced attorney, to deal with that.
You are
and also on the top filing of bankruptcy of the resident or the tenant. Usually that is happened before the trustee sale, right?
they can pay what?
No, usually it's happened before the trustee sale. If they have a trustee sale,
Yes, yeah. Well, what after
then
the trustee sale is too late, you know. Yeah,
Yeah.
usually it's before the trustee sale. Yeah,
I see. Yeah, okay. It's also a very sticky situation.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
true. So it's no fun when people declare bankruptcy during the middle of the transaction.
Yeah,
Say
yeah,
the
I
least,
see.
you know.
Yeah,
Yeah, you have to be
and
careful too, you know.
yeah,
You have
and
to,
lastly,
yeah, you have to
lastly,
advise your client to probably consult the attorney, you know, if they still want to proceed with the transaction. Anyway, okay, and more questions.